What's going on, guys? Uche Joku, Sneaker Principal, and this video is not going to be a podcast. I don't know why I'm even saying that, but I know why I'm saying that because I've been trying to find a happy space between creating content that I can purpose for both audio and video as well. So this one's going to be hard to do as a podcast because I want to share an amazing gift that was given today. And of course, it's going to be a camera. Listen, if you saw the thumbnail for this video, so you know that. And I don't even know why I'm so excited about this, but I am. And I think it's because of the provenance. Is that the word provenance? How this camera came to me as its second owner. Yes, second owner. So let me go ahead and show it to you. What this is here is a Canon A-1. And right now, this Canon A-1 was given to me by a gentleman that I met by just happenstance. I was selling one of my other cameras over the summer, and he happened to be the one picking it up for his nephew. And we started talking about cameras, and he talked about film cameras, and said that he had a camera, this camera that he bought himself in the 70s and used it for a while, and then it kind of sat there for years. And he said, I know exactly where it's sitting. It's sitting there. It's been sitting there for years. And he's like, I've not used it, and you can have it if you want it. And I said to myself, absolutely not. I need to pay for this, because I've been trying to find a good film camera. And the problem is a lot of them are old. Of course, they're all old, especially if you want to find something like an A1. I've been looking at A1s. And the problem is that they've not been taken care of. They've been damaged, and they've been put in places where literally, like just horrible conditions, whether it's humid and you have mold in them, or there is, or just dust. They just haven't been taken care of. So when he bought this camera, so what happened was, he said, I'm going to give you this camera. I'm like, great, amazing. But I'm still thinking like, but why? Okay. This was over the summer, and finally we were able to settle on a time, but he was out of state and out of the country for a while. And, he, said, I'll come to your school. I'll bring the camera to you. We made the arrangement last week, and today's the day. He showed up, and he bought a bag, and in the bag was this camera, and it had this case to show you how old this camera is. This is the leather case that it sat in. I just took it off. It sat in this leather case just like this. And look at how, this is so old that the leather itself has chipped away, and what you see is like the hide in the background. And this is when things were made with real, leather. And you can see the hide behind the leather. And so of course I took it off, and I don't know, I need to do something with this. I don't know how I'm going to be able to restore it or to put a lacquer on it, but this is part of its history. So, and here's the camera. And so far, everything about it works really well. Like, pop it open. It's a film camera. The sensor, I guess this would be called a sensor, whatever. It's pristine. Inside the sucker is pristine. Like, I was like, was this ever used? There are no scratches in there, nothing. I mean, the outside, there's some, of course, it's just as old as I am, if I really think about it, because these cameras were made between 1978 and 1985. If this was bought in the late 70s, I was born in 76, I'm 48. Let's say it was it was bought in 78. This would make this 46 years old. Either way, this is over 40 years old. To think that something that was purchased when I was a little child, and now it's mine, and I'm the second owner. Look at the sticker on here. Let me see if I can put my face out there. That little like pass the inspection passing sticker. It still looks good. I can read it. Okay, I know I'm tripping. I'm doing the most right now, but I cannot wait to put film in this and start taking pictures. The only thing I'm noticing in here when I do the viewfinder is there like the speckles of dust or something like that in there, but I don't know if that would come off on the actual photograph itself when I take pictures. So the only way to find out is to put film on here and take pictures and develop them and see what comes out. Yeah. And I'm sure if it comes out on the film, I just have to find a camera shop that can go in here and just clean it for me. And there's one in New Rochelle where I live. I can literally take the camera and say, hey, can you guys clean this for me? And I also have a Fuji camera as well that one just looks horrible inside. Like it's so much dust in there. But what is it called? It's a Fuji oh man, it's gonna come to me. But I bought 2 of those. They were super cheap. I think I bought one for $40, the other one for like $60. One of them, the winder doesn't stay down, it's broken. And the other one, the back door doesn't close all the way. So it's almost one of those things where I wish I had the 2 bodies. If I can get the back door from one camera to the other camera and clean the inside, I can use that camera too. And I think that one comes with a 50 millimeter lens. But right now it's in my house, more like a centerpiece on my coffee table, something that people could buy. Oh, cool, look at this old camera. But this one here, I'm going to use. I'm looking at the dials here. You know, where you could set your ISO. You can set your ISO right over here manually. You can set your shutter speed, I think, or is this flash? I'm not sure what ASA stands for. I'm gonna have to look that up. But no, shutter speed is on this side. I set my shutter speed on this side. I can go into aperture priority, which allows me now to just set the aperture and the shutter speed will be automatically taken care of. Or I can go to shutter priority and the aperture will be done for me. On here, this is a manual lens, but it's weird because the aperture ring here has an A on it. So I'm assuming auto. So, which is interesting because I'm trying to understand how that would work. But I know that I believe I'm supposed to put a battery in here. I haven't had a chance to open it. I don't have a coin on me, but I know the battery should be going in here. There was another thing on here that I was kind of like not quite sure what it was. So there's a screw right here. I'm assuming this is just like if you want to take the grip off, which would make sense. I just want it to just be a flat surface like this side. But here, if you notice, there's a little handle here, and there's a screw, so I think this can come off. What's interesting is because of my time with the Leica, there's so much about this that feels like the Leica. Even down to the lens, the fact that I know I can do zone focusing on here because the lens allows me to measure distance, and then all I have to do is set my aperture and then be able to take pictures where I know that let's say if I do, for example, on here, there's a ring on here. I'm sure you can't see it. Put my face out of the way. There's a ring on here with numbers on here right there, right? And what that allows me to do, I can pick my aperture, then based on feet, I can say, hey, what I'm trying to take a picture of is about 5 feet away. And because I put it on, so am I doing this right? For 5 feet at, let me see. Let's say I do a aperture of 5.6. So if I set this for 5 feet, this is pretty much telling me that am I looking at this wrong? At 5.6, this is telling me that actually I think I'm reading this wrong. At 4. So what I'm trying to do is try and see I put it at 5 feet. It gives me a range of, yeah, I'm reading this. I have some work to do with this camera. I have to do some work in this. I gotta look at my Leica, because usually whatever aperture you set it for, then your distance, it gives you a range that tells you minimum focus and maximum focus distance. So if I'm taking a picture of, like, let's say this camera right here in front of me, and I say, I'm assuming this camera is, like, let's say 3 feet away from me, then if I put it to 3, everything that's, let's say between like 2.5 to like 4 would be in focus. So it's not going to be super sharp, but whatever's in that range is what it's called zone. Whatever's in that zone is what it's called zone focusing, will be pretty much in focus. Is it going to be sharp focus? Probably not, but it still allows for a good picture. That's why some of the most amazing pictures out there, especially with street photographers, there tends to be some blur in there and some not so perfect, but it's not really about the perfection of sharpness. It's really about the capturing the moment, evoking emotion and feeling. And yeah, so I plan to play with this camera and do some interesting things. The one other thing too that fascinates me about manual cameras and film cameras like this, because this is not digital, this is film. This is not a digital screen. This is plastic backing. The thing about this is that whatever pictures I take, I don't know if I captured a good picture until I develop the film. And I love it because it takes me back to being a kid with my 35 millimeter cameras and my 110, those, I wish I could find those kind of like, they're like the shape of like ice cream sandwich. And you would wind the film, crack, and take pictures. And the thing is, when you were done, you developed them, and you see what came out. And you hoped that it gave you a good picture, especially when you were dealing with the 110 cameras. Weren't too bad because they were set up to kind of like help you focus. You put some batteries in there, and it kind of helped you focus, but you still didn't see what the outcome were. The DSLRs like this, nah. You had to set everything yourself. And yes, you could put things in auto, but you had to really understand what you were doing between the triangles of that triangle of the aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Well, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of talking. What else came with this camera? So it came with this leather case, which I'm going to try to find a way to restore. It came with a flash. This is the Canon Speedlight 199A. Like, this looks ancient. There's nothing digital about this. I think that's a light meter. I'm not sure. I don't even know how to read it. I don't know. It looks like a Geiger counter if you're out here trying to find radioactive material. But it's pretty solid. And let me see how it fits. Oh, here we go. It fits on there. Question, does it work? The cool thing that I noticed about this, I was worried, is like, what kind of battery does it take? And it takes AA batteries, which is cool. So I have some AA batteries at home, so when I get home, I'm going to put them in here and see if it works. And I do have a roll of film, a couple of rolls of film that I'm going to put in here as well. And I think I have the battery that fits to this camera as well. So that's yeah. So it comes with a lens. With a flash, speed light, and I have a feeling that this is like a top of the line. Maybe I might be wrong because I know nothing about flashes like that. So it came with that, and then all the manuals, like literally all the manuals, speed light manual, the A-100 original manual. Look at this sucker. Okay, light reading. It says here, discover a wonderland through Canon EF lenses. So this is a manual for the lens, manual for the camera, speed light manual. This one I think was by accident. It was thrown in there. It's a manual for image stabilizer for binoculars. But so I didn't get that. 6-mode exposure control, system versatility, newer electronics for wider applications. So the manual, again, another manual for the camera. Canon A series, A1, AE1, AL1. So the series, another manual for that. So this is the A1. So I wonder whether, I don't know if the A1 was like the top of, if it's like the bottom of the pile. Huh. I'm curious, like, is this like the, so there's a picture in here, is this like the flagship camera for that time, or is it like the bottom? No, but on this picture here, it's on the bottom. So I'm like, oh, like I have like the runt of the litter, but here it's like a pyramid, and it's on the top on this side. So it says 5 AE modes plus manual override. The other ones look to be built-in quick focus system plus aperture priority, shutter priority 8 plus manual override, aperture priority 8. So it looks, oh snap! It looks like the A1 had all the. So there's a A1 and an AE1. So I think these two are the top of the line, because this has all the priorities that these have, and some of them only have one or the other. So okay, so maybe it is a flagship. We'll see. Tamron lens. It didn't come with a Tamron lens, so I guess I should look for a Tamron lens. Maybe I can find something on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, and then a manual for filters. I'm going to show the filters it came with. So lens-wise, it came with 2 lenses. There's the 35mm that's on here right now, and this is a f2.8, pretty decent, you know, get a pretty good bokeh with that. Then it came also with a 50mm lens, and this is a f1.8. So pretty fast lenses, you know. So again, if I'm doing street photography, I'm probably not going to be shooting at, I probably don't want to shoot at a 1.8, 1.4. I want to be probably closer to 4 or 5.6, because I want as much of what I'm catching in focus. So the 2.8 for 35 makes absolute sense. The 1.8 for the 50mm makes a lot of sense if I'm doing portraitures and I'm just catching a subject, you know. So that's kind of cool there. So again, lenses. What else is in the bag? This is pretty cool. I don't know how to use this. I'm gonna have to figure it out. So I'm going to assume that this is, oh, that makes sense. This goes here. Ah, but I don't understand why. So this is like a extension remote thing to trigger the shutter, but kind of short, right? So would I be like set it up and be holding it like this and take a picture of myself? So I gotta look and see how people use this, or maybe, yeah, I don't get it. Why? Someone can tell me, like, why was this necessary? But okay. So this remote trigger, I guess, but that's not quite remote. Then I got the 3 filters. So these are Hoya filters, and they're like tints. I'm looking at this. Like this one here is kind of like a pinkish tint to it. And I'm sure that this allows to create some level of ambiance and a different feel. This one here is a bluish color, or gray. Man, this is like, it's been here for so long. It was like I had to pull it off of the paper. So this is like a gray mist. And let me tell you something. I can see like mold on here. So listen. Hopefully I didn't just release like COVID-35 out of these lenses. But it says on here for technical photography. So, and this one here is a, let me see what this color this is. Ooh, it's like a, these cases are kind of dope. I'm sorry. I like these cases. Like, it's kind of cool. And this one has like a pinkish hue to it. Like a pinkish. And I think you see better from in the case. It's like a pinkish color. I won't lie. When I was looking through this stuff, I was so excited. I was just like, whoa, like this is so cool. For something that's this old to evoke so much like excitement is just phenomenal. So Rick, thank you so much. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but you definitely made my day, my month, my week, probably my year. No, maybe I don't know if my year, but close to it. This is amazing. So I look forward to creating with this, and hopefully good things come out of this. All right, y'all. Uche Njoku, Sneaker Principal. And till next time, be well.